All right, let's open Figma real quick. Open Figma, create a new design file, and let's get the ball rolling. In product design, there are two things that are very important when you are designing, especially as a beginner. First thing is components. Components are reusable elements that you can reuse across your project without having to duplicate or recreate that element. Say, for example, if you have a component that is a button, you can reuse that button in as many places as possible. And when you need to edit that button, say you want to change the color from red to green, all you just have to do is go to the master component, change the color to green, and anywhere else that that button is being used will be changed to green. Do we get that? So if you change the size also will change anywhere else that button is used. It works for every component, so you don't have to manually resize all the buttons. This works for anything like text, shapes, and the likes. The other thing is auto layout. As the name sounds, auto layout helps you automatically align your work, arrange it properly without you like doing some manual work and like. So to demonstrate auto layout, I draw three squares on my canvas. So these are the three squares. And to apply an auto layout to your work, all you just need to do is select the element you want to apply the auto layout to. Say these three squares. I've selected them, and the keyboard shortcut for auto layout is Shift A. Shift A. Or you right click and you see this what's it called? Add auto layout here. When you click on that, you see it automatically adjusts the spacing between all these three elements. Now I can increase the spacing, I can reduce it depending on how I want it. If I move it towards the left, it reduces. If I move towards the right, it increases. And I can do this by just imputing the value I want here. Say display is 40. And I can increase it to 50 as I want. Do we get that, people online? Do we get that? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So the other thing I mentioned you can do to your auto layout is you can add padding. So we have two types of padding. We have the horizontal padding and we have the vertical padding. Horizontal padding add padding to the left and right, and vertical padding add the space to the up and to the bottom. And I mentioned earlier that when you apply auto layout to your shapes or to your elements, it group them into a frame, or it bring them into a frame, which is in this case this frame 1. All right, so when you're adding the padding is added to the frame, not to the elements inside the frame. So now let's add a padding to the horizontal padding. Let's add 20 here and vertical also 20. So we can see the padding here. This is 20 to the left and this is 20 at the top as well. Now currently our frame 1 does not have any color. It's just transparent. So let's add some colors to this frame. Let me click on, come to fill and you click on this add icon here. And I can change this color. I can say maybe red here and leave it. Another thing I can do here is, this is my frame 1. I can click on this frame 1 and come to this corner radius here. And increase it. I can use my keyboard to increase it up and down, and I can input any value I want, say 12. Now watch the edge of the frame is curved. Are we following? Yes. Good. If I don't want auto layout again, I say the work you've done is okay. I don't need you again. What I will do is right click on that frame and I will see remove auto layout. Or you can use the keyboard shortcuts in front of it. You just remove auto layout. So when you remove auto layout, this is what happens. It converts that auto layout frame to a normal frame. I'm sure you guys have watched the video on frames. So it converts this into a frame, no auto layer frame. Now let me show you how this works. Let me Control Z. This is an auto layer frame. If I remove one of these elements out of the frame, you see it snaps, yeah, just that's auto layout. It does the work automatically. If I bring it back, it adjusts again. If I duplicate, it keeps going. So you don't have to do manual labor. If I remove auto layout, say remove auto layout, though all these elements are still in the frame, but once you remove this one, it doesn't snap back to this thing because auto layout has been disabled. Do we get it? Yes. Auto layout work with tests too, not just this guy. So let's type submit. Let me increase this. I have this word submit. Say probably I want to convert this to a button. What people do sometimes, some people like it. What they will do is they will draw a frame. They will pick a frame. This is a frame 2 here, this guy, and draw a frame like this. Add color to it. Let's say white, and bring this submit inside this frame, and maybe give this one a black color. So this is probably a button. So we don't want to use the traditional frame to create our button. We want to use auto layout. This is what we are going to do. I will delete this frame here. I will click on this button. I will give it a lighter color. When I click on the text, I'll right click or I use my keyboard shortcut and add auto layout. Now, auto layout has been added. If you come to your properties panel, you will see the padding 10 pixels to the left and right, 10 pixels at the top. This is what we have here, this 10, 10. I want my button to be a green button. Maybe I want to submit a form or something. Do you get? So I want my button to be a green button. I'll click on fill. I will slide my hue to green and maybe pick this green here. This looks like a button, but maybe in those 19 something websites, it's not looking really fancy. So what I will do here is increase the padding. So I can increase the horizontal padding to say maybe 60 or maybe even more. Let me use 92. I can increase the padding to the vertical padding as well. Let me click the frame and increase this vertical padding, something like this. Maybe I want to give it a corner radius. I will just come to the corner radius and give it 12. Say 24. You don't have to use the exact figure I'm using. I'm just trying to demonstrate. So we have our submit button here. One good thing about auto layout is if I don't want to use submit, I want to use the word verify. So I'll just highlight everything and change this to verify. You see, sorry, it adjusts. If I want to change this to anything, maybe go to church, it retains the padding on the left and right and just adjust automatically. So that's auto layout for you. And you can set it in such a way that you want the width of your button or the height and the width of your button to remain constant even when you are changing the text inside. Let's assume you are using a constant size button. So irrespective of the text inside, you want it to be continue, you want it to be submit, you want it to retain the same length. All you just have to do is click on the frame. You see these two guys here, this width W and this H. Those are the height and the width. So you click on the drop down here. Instead of hog content means when the content inside is increasing, the auto layout also increases with it. If it's reducing, it's also reducing. But you can change it to feast. So when you change it to feast, even though I change this go to church to just church, the length of the button doesn't increase or decrease. That's auto layout. So you can use auto layout. Let's assume I have an icon. Let's assume this is an icon here. I'm just assuming, and I drag it inside this frame. It's going to adjust with what the properties I have on ground. So let's assume this is an icon of a church, right? And I think the icon is too close to the church. And I want to increase the spacing between the church and the icon. I will just come here and just increase this one. And the good thing, I can move the icon from left to right. I can just click and move it to the left. And it snaps and everything is aligned properly. That's auto layout. I can go back again, click on this frame, and instead of the width to be fixed, I say hug content. Then it comes back again. Are we good? Are we good? So can we go on to the project we're about to design? If you are with me, let me see your hands. All right, all right, all right. Good, 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 good. We can delete all these guys. Well done. Now, when you're designing anything on Figma or you're designing a product, they always have a size. If you are designing a mobile app, you have to use a mobile frame. That's going to be your canvas size, right? If you're designing a website, I mean, people also design for TV. People design for wristwatches, anything that has screens, basically, you can design for it. Now, let's design a website of a product that me and you, I'm sure that we've used before. So let's design the website for it. The first thing we are going to do is add frame. What you are going to do is click on this frame tool. We are designing a website, the desktop version of that website. So I'll click on desktop here. We have loads of, or let's just say loads. We have options that we can select from. Let's select desktop for this demonstration. So let's add a desktop frame. Added, right? Right. You can rename the frame so whatever you want. You can just double click on the name and it highlights it for you and can rename it to anything you want to call it. Or you can also come to this layers panel, double click and rename it here as well. It works both ways. Also, when you are designing your website, this is not the length of most websites. It's actually longer than this, that you have to scroll, scroll, scroll. So for this, let's increase the length of this or the height of this website. Let's just increase it any way you want it. Just leave it there. All right. Next thing we are going to do is add our layout grid. I'm sure we've watched the video on layout grid and we know what layout grid is all about, right? Good. I'll click on this desktop one. I'll come to layout guide. I'll see grid. I'll select column. Now we have these options. We have count, we have color, we have type, we have width. If you've not watched that video on grid, please go and watch it so you can follow very fast. For websites, it's advisable you use 12 counts. So let's use 12. For the margins, we are going to use the 32. And this is what we have. So the grid is just to guide your content very well so they align properly when you are doing your design, basically. All right. Now that you have our grid, at any point in time, you can turn off your grid, you can turn it back on so that you see what you are doing very well. I don't like seeing the grid because it affects my eyes some way. So I just like turn it off, turn it back on to see what I'm doing. The first thing we are going to design is our navigation bar for the website. So where you have the logo, you have button, maybe sign up, download, blah, 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 and some options. So to do that, we are going to pick our frame tool again and draw If any frame that you want, just draw any frame, any size. But let the length of this your frame, let it be the same length with let it be the same width as your frame. This desktop frame here. Our desktop frame, the width is 1440. This one too is 140. So the height, let the height of this one be 76. The height be 76. And we can rename this to navbar. Are we there? So now go to the folder you downloaded and you see a WhatsApp logo in SVG and you bring it. So all you just have to do is drag the logo into your file. That's all. Let me see. Is the logo there? I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not sure the logo is there. Okay. The logo is not there. Okay, not that one. Not that one. Okay. I think what I will do is upload. I'll need to upload the file, the logo to that file. Sorry about that. All right. So you can go back to that same folder on my Google Drive and download just the WhatsApp logo. Just the WhatsApp logo. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Nobody has seen it. All right, download it and just drag it. So you go back to, let me go back to my Finder. This is the WhatsApp logo. All I have to do is just click and drag into my projects, just like that. Are we there? People online, are we there? Are we there? All right. All right. All right. Good, 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 good. Now, I want the width of this, my WhatsApp, the logo, the width, I want it to be 124. 124. So this is what I will do. Don't just come here and put 124. Watch what I will do. I'll click on the icon, and if you come here, you will see something called scale. Right? Are you following? So scale is to scale your height and your width in the same proportion. Let me demonstrate what that means. If I have this guy here and I don't apply scale to it and I want to maybe make it bigger, but I want to retain the same square size. If I come to width and I change this one to 100, it just affects only the width. The height is left alone, right? So I have to just manually convert this one to 100 again. But if I want to do it in such a way that As I'm adjusting the width, the height is also being adjusted. I have to use the scale, and the shortcut for scale is K. So I can come here and select scale, or I can just press K on my keyboard. So let's select scale. When you select scale, you are going to see something like this. So here I can just select say 200 to watch what will happen. When I put 200 for the width, you see the height automatically also change to 200. So I don't have to do for height and width and all of that. Once you are done scaling what you want to scale, you can close. So we go back to what we have initially. So for my WhatsApp logo, I want to scale this thing. I want to scale it down. I want the width to be 124. What I will do is select the WhatsApp frame here. I will select K, which is scale, and my width will be 124. Once that is done, I'll close that. I'll come here and drag the WhatsApp logo inside this navigation frame that I created earlier. So if you want to bring your logo, your item from anywhere into your project, all you just have to do is select the item and drag it inside. You don't have to open it, just drag it. Why is it not dragging? Drag it here. So when it's about to enter, you will see that it's going to show you. You just have to drop it. Why SVG? Why are we using SVG? SVG gives you the edit ability to change the color and something. So for this WhatsApp, if I don't want to use green, I can select it and use maybe black. But if it's PNG or JPEG, you can't edit the color, it's picture. But SVG allows you to edit. It's a vector object, so you can edit it. If I want to change, if I want to manipulate this thing, I can do all of that. So that's why we are using SVG. So most times when you want to download the company's logo online, just look for the SVG's version. All right, let's move. The next thing we are doing is we want to create two buttons. One is login, the other is download. All right. First thing we are going to do is type login. So come here, type login. The font we are using is Helvetica. This one. This. Are we together? For your fonts, make the font size 16. If you are using Area, if you are using Helvetica, your font size 16. And there's something I want you to note when you are working with fonts. If you see this text now, you see some empty space at the top and one beneath here. If you want to eradicate that, just come to your type settings and you will see vertical trim. So you just select cap height to baseline. You see that? So if you are using this standard, you see it adds some space to the top and to the base. But if you are using the trim version, it removes all those excess space at the top of the page. So the next thing we are going to do is import our arrow. Go back to your folder. You will see this thing called chevron here. Chevron design. Drag it into your project. Like this. Have we done that? Are we on track? Our font size is 16. Then this is our chevron, our right facing arrow. Let the size be 16. It should be 16 when you bring it. Have we been able to do that? Okay, now what we want to do is convert these two guys into what we call auto layouts. We've done auto layouts. So select your login, select your arrow, and shift A. Have we done that? So for our horizontal padding, let's add 26. And for our vertical height, let's add 16. We have something like this. You can't really see what's going on because our frame, our auto layer frame is what's it called? Is transparent. So let's add color to it. Let's add white. This frame, click on it, add white. White is there. You might not be able to see it, but if you drag this out, you will see that is white. All right. Let's increase the corner radius to 34 or anything to make the edges look around, basically. This way. Have we done that? Have we done that? And for the spacing between the login and the arrow, let's make that 12. Good. Are we there? The next thing we want to do is add an outline to this auto layout. So let's add a stroke. Outline is called stroke. For people that use CorelDRAW, they call it outline. So let's add stroke to this. And our stroke is going to be just 1 pixel. You might not be able to see it, but when we bring it back into our nav bar, we are going to see it right here. The next thing we are going to do is design the download button. To make work faster for you, you don't have to start from scratch. All you just need to do is duplicate this login button that you have. Do we get? Let's duplicate this button. You know how to duplicate now. Press on Alt or Option depending on, and you drag. Let me click Alt, drag. You duplicate this guy. Done. Instead of login, let's change this one to download. If you type download and your download is like my own, don't panic, don't panic. What you just have to do is come to this layout here, this guy, this auto mix, just click on this one. Are we good? Are we good? So now the next thing you are going to do is for our download, we don't want this arrow here. We want a download icon. So go back to your folder. You will see download arrow. Bring this guy back. Bring this guy in here. So let me put it on a white background so you can see it. Now, to make the work faster, this is what you are going to do. What we want to do is replace this arrow with this download. That's what we want to do. Are we on the same page? Are we on the same page? This is what you will do. Right click on this arrow. You will see copy, paste, blah, blah, blah. Me, I like to cut. If you want to cut, what you press is, there's no cut on this list. So I use keyboard shortcut Command X or Control X. X like this. Cut. It don't disappear, but it's on my clipboard. Then I'll click on this guy, this arrow, this one. I will right click and I'll see paste to replace. You can either copy the download arrow or you can copy it, you can cut it anyhow you want to do it. But when you are pasting, you paste to replace. Our download button is not supposed to be white. We want to leave in the WhatsApp green. How do we do that? 2 ways. Click on the frame itself, this button, click on it. You see your field. You change the button from white to green. And the code for that is, listen, 25 D3 C6. The best way to pick the right color. Now, if you are not getting it very well, this is what you do. Let me Ctrl Z. Click on the button, come to fill, click on it. You will see this eyedropper tool is for you to sample or pick color. Just click on it. Navigate to where the color you want to pick. Zoom in very well and just click on that color. Once you click on it, go back to where you are coming from. You see that apply the color. It's not hard. Are we here? Are we good? Now, the next thing to do is this is what we have. We have these two guys. Now, I want to put these two guys into auto frame. I want to auto frame the two of them. So I'll select this one, then shift A. And the spacing between them, I want it to be 12. I'm not adding padding. This is just me trying to organize my work. No paparazzi, nothing else. You can decide to leave your own. Good for you. So I'll change this one to 12. And that's about that. The next thing we are doing is, when you get to a website, there's always these options at the middle, maybe home, products, and the like. So we want to add some of those. The first one we are adding is feature. You pick your text tool, type feature, features. Same font size, 16. We are using 16. All right. Now, all you just have to do is duplicate this feature, duplicate it into 5 different texts, duplicate it 5 times. So I'll just duplicate it. Shortcut for you to duplicate it is, look at me, listen to this very well. I want to replicate this feature. I want to duplicate it 5 times. So everything altogether will be 6, right? First step is I will duplicate this guy, I will drag and duplicate it, like we can do this one over. So once you've done that, you don't press anything. Once you duplicated these 2 already, all you just need to do is press Ctrl or Command D for maybe 4 times. Command D, D, D. Do you get that? Do you get that? So next thing is to rename this to privacy. This one to help center. This one to blog. This one to for business. And this one to apps. Don't worry about the spacing. Auto layout will handle it for us. Are we there? Are we there? Are we there? Okay. So now, there's another thing that comes with feature. We have plenty features. So we want to add a drop-down icon to this our feature. It's just this feature that is going to have a drop-down icon close to it. What you are going to do again is go back to your folder and that same chevron, add it back to your file. But if you don't want to go that route of adding the chevron back, we can reuse this one that is here. What you just have to do is click till this guy is selected and you hold your Alt or Shift or whatever and drag it out here. Does that make sense? Is it easy? So if you can't do this time, just go and bring back your chevron. Or if you can, even if you can't duplicate, or you just click on the arrow, click on it. You can copy it, Command C, Control C, and paste. So if you paste, still have the same thing. Have we done that? Are we clear? Are we there? Yes. I need response. Yes. Good. So now drop down doesn't face left, it faces down. All you just have to do is rotate this guy. How do you rotate? When you hover over this, when this guy is selected, come to the edge to use to your cursor change to an arc. Then you rotate. When you are rotating, you can hold shift so it snaps at 90. So if I'm rotating without pressing shift, it's just going to be rotating freely. But if I hold shift, it's going to just snaps. So let's rotate and let it face down this way. Done? Good? Are we good? All right. So the next thing I want to do is this feature and this guy, I want to group them together. I can group them together normally. I can use auto layout to group it. I prefer using auto layout. So I'll click on feature, I'll click on the drop down icon and I'll press shift A. Now our nav is done. Click on your desktop frame, this one. Currently, our background color is white, but for the product we are designing, the background color is not white. So we need to change that white to something else. And the something else is, let me copy the code out for you guys so you can see it. Type it here. FCF5EC. I'll make that big. So this is the background color. It's more like yellowish kind of chat there. Done. So the same color we want to give it to this our nav bar. When you click on your nav bar, the background color for the nav bar frame is also white. Let's change it to this same color. I can use my eyedropper tool and just sample the color from this place instead of typing it. I just on this. We're good. All right. Now let's now bring our nav bar into our main frame. Now my layer grid is not showing because I disabled it. Let me bring it back. So this is it. No fear, no fear. So I just want what I want to do is bring my nav bar into my main desktop frame. All I have to do is just tap on the nav bar and bring it inside. How do you know that the frame has entered inside the main frame? Now, this is how you know. If a frame is outside or is not inside any other frame, you will be seeing the name of the frame at the top of it. But when that frame is inside another frame, maybe if I drag it here, you will not see the name again, it has disappeared. Do you get what I'm saying now? But the name is still there. If you come to your layers panel, you still see that this is number. So that's how you know that that number enter inside this desktop. Is that okay? Now it's just somewhere on the frame. We don't want it to be somewhere on the frame. We want it to be at the top and centralized. Just click on the nav bar. All you just have to do is select this guy, align horizontally to the center, then select this one, align top. So you put it at the top and at the center. To view what you've done, select on this desktop, this one, select on it. And you see this preview button here, this play button. Click on it. It's going to load another screen for you. Once that is up, so this is what we've done. This is our website.